Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to talk about Program Derived Addresses, also known as PDAs, which is a core concept for building on Solana. So PDAs are addresses on Solana that don't have a private key, meaning that they fall off the ED25519 curve. So how do we actually generate that address? Well, we're gonna start with some seeds. So that'll be our first input value here. Now, seeds can be whatever you want to define them as. It can be something like a public key, a string, a number, and you can also have multiple seeds. So let's say for this example, we're gonna have two. Now, when you're writing your smart contract, you can decide what you want those seeds to be explicitly for that contract. And I like to think of this like a hash map, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But first, how we get this value. So you have your seeds, and then we have a bump seed. And this is explicitly a number, and that number is going to start at 255. And I'll explain why you need that in just a second. But then after this, our last input that we're going to need is our program ID. Now, going back just a little bit, we have our PDAs, and they're going to be an address that falls off our ED25519 curve. And we want that because we want an address that doesn't have a corresponding private key, so only programs can sign for it. Now, that is done for security reasons. And if you have a PDA that's generated just from specific seeds without a program ID, then any program is going to be able to use those seeds and act as if it's that address. So the program ID is needed as an input value here. So all these input values are going to run through your SHA-256 hash function to generate your 32-byte public key. So it's gonna look like this. You'll run this through your function, and the output is going to be a 32-byte pub key. And that is going to be your PDA. However, when you create a 32-byte pub key, that could fall on the ED25519 curve, or it could not. So if it does, then it's not going to be a valid PDA. So how do we resolve this problem? Well, I mentioned earlier the bump and didn't explain why it was there. So now I'm going to explain that. What's gonna happen is we're going to run these input values, but we're going to decrement by 1 our bump. So if you just ran the same input values through this hash function, it's going to generate the same public key. So if I change this to 254 as my new bump seed, it's going to generate a new public key after running it through this hash function. So that's how you're gonna create your PDA. This is going to continue to iterate until you're able to generate a accurate public key that falls off the ED25519 curve, meaning it doesn't have a corresponding private key. And now you have a correct, accurate PDA. So why does that matter? Well, normal accounts are controlled by whoever holds the private key. A PDA has no private key at all, which means that only the program owns it and can sign for it, not a person or a wallet. And that's what lets a program act as the authority over its own accounts programmatically. So as a mental model, I mentioned earlier, I like to think of this as a hash map. A PDA does act like a hash map lookup because your key, which is these seed values here, could be values like a user's public key or a string identifier, plus a namespace, which is going to be your program ID. And that runs through your deterministic function here to get back an address. And that's the same way that a hash key gives you a slot in a hash map. So just as a hash map lets you find the value for a specific user without scanning every entry or keeping a separate index, a PDA lets any program or client compute the account for a specific user directly from your seeds with no lookup table needed anywhere on chain. Now, that's a high-level overview of what a PDA is. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.